Hey there, I'm Bernardo and you're watching Vibe Code with me. And today is a really weird day. A lot have happened today, and I'm just confused and a little bit sad. A lot of things happened. So, in this series I'm reviewing all these AI coding agents, and someone asked me to review try, I don't know how to spell that. And I was really excited to they had this thing called Try Solo. So I just started recording the video, did everything there. Then I downloaded it and then I paid for the pro plan, $3. And when I opened it and tried to switch to the solo mode, it said, hey, this solo mode is behind a waitlist. This was just, I just got a little bit mad about it. I felt like I was scammed, and like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to one of the videos that I was doing for the CLI coding agents, and I reviewed already what I'm calling first party CLI agents. First party because they are built by the same companies that develop the models. So I tested Cloud Code from Anthropic, Codex CLI from OpenAI, and recently I tested Gemini CLI from Google. Um, and today because the try video didn't work, I will continue that as soon as I get access to the solo thing. Today I'm gonna review Qwen Code, and I was really excited to do that. But then I realized I recorded, and I feel so dumb about it. I recorded an entire video on my secondary monitor, the vertical one, which is not what I wanted. I want the horizontal one. And then I was just using that. The other thing was just like plain thing, and I was showing, and there are some funny moments that happen. Just a little bit sad. So this, yeah, some of these days everything wrong that could happen happens, and it is what it is. So today we're gonna be taking a look at Qwen Code. So Qwen Code is a CLI 2 by uh, the company behind Qwen is Alibaba, I guess. Uh, did I see the license says? Doesn't say anything, but yeah. Yeah, there's Google and Qwen. But yeah, I believe the company behind them is Alibaba, the big behind AliExpress, behind, the Alibaba, Ali Cloud. Recently, when I added this, the only option was to use OpenRouter and like to have some free usage. But they recently introduced Qwen by OAuth, Qwen.ai. So you have to go to Qwen chat. You just log in with this, and then yeah, I just logged in, and then I set up my account, and you're gonna have 2,000 on free plan. I'm not sure if this is gonna show my email. Hope not. But it doesn't seem to be like a way to add credits. So yeah, but they have a free plan. And yeah, so I use Mies to install because it's an NPM thing. This is just, by the way, this is just a fork of Gemini CLI. But, we're going to be testing Qwen models. Qwen models are interesting. If you go to LLM Arena, you can see on the leaderboard for like web dev that Qwen Coder ranks actually quite high. Again, take these rankings with a grain of salt. Like, for example, technically GPT-5 is much better than uh, Sonnet 4, and I had a much better time with Sonnet 4 than I had with GPT-5. I know I was using the GPT-5 codex. I don't even know if it's here. So yeah, so take these things with a grain of salt. Like, these are just benchmarks. But if you look at some of the benchmarks, it consistently hangs like really high, like close to Opus level. So I'm excited to test this out. So yeah, people have a lot of like, oh, it's a Chinese model, whatever. But you know what? I don't care about that. I'm not into politics. It's a respectable company behind it. So yeah, whatever. So that's not going to be the topic of the video. I'm just really interested in trying this new model. I think it's a model that not a lot of people are testing out and trying out. So yeah, so I installed it already and I logged in with this Qwen Code, and we technically have 2,000 requests per day with no token limits. So yeah, I'm not sure how many requests I'm gonna use. I'm gonna try to be fair, especially because it's a free plan. So if I just run out of requests, I might just wait until tomorrow. Not sure when the day resets though, so we're gonna see. Or maybe I just go for and change the authorization to use OpenRouter. OpenRouter has Qwen Coder Plus, I think is the one that people think is using. And yeah, and if you look at this, the price, what is the price? I don't even know. I never use OpenRouter. Okay. Input price. Yeah, I have no idea how to evaluate how much yeah, okay. About 1 million per input tokens and 1 per million input tokens and $5 per million output tokens. You know, most of the times, you know, the 2-hour journey, I like in Gemini CLI, I would use what, maybe like a million, like 3 times I would have to reset the context or compress at most, so that like 3 million input tokens. So you know what that would cost at most, and normally output tokens are much lower. So let's just say $2 per million input tokens. I don't know how the math. So yeah, I would guess I would spend like, you know, $5 at most. Yeah, I would have to see. So the point, the strategy here is I'm gonna use the Qwen AI thing, and I'm going to, let's go back here. Let's close this. And if I reach the limit, I will change to OpenRouter. But yeah, of course I will take into consideration plan. I got a little bit mad with Gemini CLI because, you know, even on a paid plan, I had to change like really fast, like in 40 minutes, from the Gemini 2.5 Pro, which was really good, back to the Gemini 2.5 Flash, which honestly felt really bad. Yeah, it was really bad. Like my experience was really bad. So I hope this gives, like, the 2,000 per day gives us enough requests to properly test this. All right, so I already have installed. I'm gonna just say a fun fact, and that's gonna be funny because I was looking through the commands. So there's some interesting things here. So first, it's really similar to Gemini CLI, and I left a lot because there's a Corgi mode. I don't even know what Corgi mode does. It was funnier when I first figured that out because I was, yeah, but now I lost the recording, and yeah, whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, so there's this Corgi mode, which I have no idea what it does other than, you know, having this Corgi here. What does this help thing? Yeah. Just, the only thing that I know is there's a Corgi mode, which, you know, if all you get is this nice Corgi here, I think this is peaking, like peak vibe coding. But yeah, I left a lot the first time that I realized that. However, there's some interesting things. They seem to have, even though it's a fork of Gemini CLI, there seems to be a sub-agent kind of thing. Where's the sub-agents? I think it was /agents, right? Yeah. So there seems to be like, you know, sub-agent thing. So manage. Yes, there's just one right now. I'm not gonna mess with that. But yeah, there's an interesting thing you have in Qwen Code, but it was missing in Gemini CLI. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be fun. I already set up the editor, /editor. I already set up to, wait, what? Set to new view editor. why this is. Maybe I have to restart. Oh, okay, now I got, so there was this summary thing. So yeah, okay, so when quitting you can generate a summary and it saves to like a .qwen.summary file. So I was looking at it. Let's just go to here, go to the docs. Docs. By the way, you open the docs, it starts in Chinese. You can just come here and change to English. And yeah, there is, so if we go to CLI usage, there was this summary thing, configuration guide. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you go to summary, it says to this Qwen project summary, and I was like, what is the difference between these and, you know, the memory thing? But yeah, so I was confused with the Qwen.qwenmd file. But yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, I guess this is like a way to, like, if you want to stop and continue working on the same thing after, you save this to this Qwen project summary. Okay, amazing. But yeah, so there are some interesting things here, but other than that, it's going to be pretty similar to Gemini CLI. So let's jump into setting up the project. Right, so I'm going to open github.com/expensify template. So just going to copy this, create new repository, going to call Expensify Qwen Code, create a repository. And as soon as this is done, I'm going to clone this and start setting things up. All right. So I can clone this. Come here. Yeah, exit, quit. Yeah, same thing as the Gemini CLI. So I'm going to do to GitHub, git clone. I'm going to paste this here. Authenticate with my Touch ID, and gonna do, yeah, mis trust cd expensify Qwen Code mis trust install pnpm run pnpm install. Yeah, let's see if we can add because, okay, yeah, this is kind of like a little bit of work. So yeah, so this is gonna come here and become the QwenMD file. Qwen, and this gonna come here, and I guess I have to put this in Qwen, and it's gonna be, yeah, let's just do this first. I think the file name. So I think the configuration, I mean, I can just use the Qwen MCP CLI overview. Configuration, MCP servers. So yeah, I think the config files. So the config files can be this qwen.settings.json. Okay, so I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna do settings.json. Gonna open this. Do you have like a schema for that? Okay, I don't have a schema, so I'm just going to, yeah, I guess that's all I need to do actually. So I guess if I do this and do Qwen, it should start the MCP things, yeah. Again, I'm just gonna do the test that I normally do when you need to edit a file. What tool should you use? So yeah, I got some problems with some of these tools. They with the LSP MCP server. What? Where does this tool comes from? I'm spending a little bit of the. Yeah. Okay, maybe this is gonna be smarter. Let's see. Again, I think a lot of times is about the prompt that is set up. I never had problems with Cloud Code. Cloud Code would use the LSP thing just fine. I think it even used sometimes to rename some stuff. So yeah. But yeah, we might have to disable that. Okay, so this is configured. Let's go back here. We now have this thing, which I mean, I'm just having problems with this. You know, in the end, if I need the docs, I just place that. So yeah, also gonna because I'm already tired and I want to go here. I need to change this to run. VTest by default runs in this interactive mode and is really bad for the AI, for the agents to, agents wait until the command is completed. So yeah, I've been doing that a lot. Other than that, let's just do the .env example to .env and let's do docker ps. Okay, I'm gonna do Colino start. Yeah, this is what I used to run Docker in Mac. And other than that, I think this is all from the, it's gonna create a commit. So yeah, so this was deleted. This, what is even the difference between this and this, right? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do project setup. Create a commit. All right, and docker ps. Okay, let me just close some of my work stuff. Be right back. All right, I terminated the stuff. Then docker compose -d, and yeah, I think that's it for now. We're gonna have to run task reset and whatnot. So I think we're ready to vibe code. Yeah, I'm gonna go until 1 a.m., 1 something a.m. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, let me just get something to eat because I'm getting tired already. But yeah, see you soon. All right, so we are ready to go. I just need to open this. So I already have everything set up. Yeah, by the way, let me also, I'm gonna need to edit this to add the Qwen Code thing. Yeah, here you can see the things that I plan on reviewing. So yeah, I'm just gonna copy the first prompt and see how that goes. Here, okay, let's see how the context thing, okay, I think I did too. And how do I add the, okay, docs product, okay. Okay, this is the thing I want to use. Okay, not sure if it changes anything, but yeah, let's just send the same prompt I've been sending. Okay, let me test this. Oh, nice. Okay, but I'm not gonna do this. Let's do suggestions. Let's break this down into multiple tasks. Also, leave database design and test as important parts on each of them. That is incrementally designing and testing, as opposed to a more waterfall like process. UI should also be updated on each of the tasks. For example, the first task can be about replacing the placeholder functionality on the posts with org management, creation and edit, for example. Then the second task can be, for example, invitations, and so on and so forth. Okay, nice. It created a. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. Please write tasks for each of those. Do not implement them. Your goal now is to just write the tasks, not actually implement them. Tasks to tasks. Okay, this is okay. Finally, I think it's gonna do the thing now. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Let's not. We shouldn't depend on the invitation. Let's not use complicated middleware's helper functions to get roles. Again, I guess this is always like a little bit unfair because I now know how to properly do things with like TRPC that doesn't get too crazy. But yeah, helper functions to get roles. Roles / ensure admin should be good enough. Middlewares are hard to properly type them. Middlewares in TRPC, I mean, I'm completely a noob, but it just feels like really weird and hard to. Okay, I'm just gonna, let's assume for this particular case that the role model should be already there from the get-go. Test 1. Because there we should define that the creator of the org is the admin already. Okay. Let's do task 8 right after task 2. Okay. Task 001. Let's make sure that task 001 states that the user should be set as the admin of the org right after creation, and that the model should have member and admin as possible roles, even if we are not implementing role-based access control right away. Okay, 1 second. Right, sorry, my mom was calling me. Okay, and this should be good enough. All right. Yes. Okay, here. All right, I'm just gonna come here. Gonna do first step. What is going on here? Docs. Create tasks. All right, let's come here and do let's implement task one now. Okay, this is fast. Let's see. Okay, I think it's already dropping the. It's already dropping the posts, and it's adding membership, organization, membership as a user, an organization, and a role, which the default is member, and role can be admin or yeah, this is good. Yes. Yeah, so I had a lot of problems with migrate, the Prisma migrate command, suffering a little bit with it. So I'm gonna use the Prisma MCP tool for migrations. Call this migration initial setup or something like that, because it will include the existing models as well. Okay, it's gonna. This is interesting. It's gonna validate what I just said, right? I just said, hey, you need to call this initial setup because there is no actual migration so far, and it actually just ran the other MCP tool to validate it. I like it. I don't like when the models just trust me or like, oh, you're absolutely right. So yes, I spent a little extra to call, but I think this is a good sign. Like that is just not like blindly follow me. By the way, while we do this, let me come here and do pnpm run test reset. Okay, it works. By the way, what is the context window of Qwen Coder Plus? Qwen Coder Plus. Oh, yeah. Context window. What is the context window? Context window. Okay, it seems it can be from 356 tokens, 1,000 tokens to 1 million tokens. All right. Yeah, it would be great if the thing could like open like in an existing thing. Sure. Yeah. All right. So create is, yeah, create both things. It should likely use a transaction here. I guess I can edit this. It's gonna be weird. Context.db.transaction. This is like compiling. Actually, I'm just going to ask it. It's gonna do a better job than I can do without proper like LSP and whatnot. Okay, get all finds. Yeah, this already has some sort of like role-based access control kind of thing. Get by ID. Interesting. Update. Yeah, this is already doing role-based access control, which is interesting. Even though we have the other tests to do that, but yeah. Just gonna say. Suggest changes. Make sure org and role creation are atomic using a transaction. Yeah, I just made a typo, but it should be able to figure it out. Perfect. All right, this is perfect. Yes, allowance. What are exactly gonna be these two different things? I don't think you should do two different things. Let's see what he ends up thinking about. Okay. Let's keep the same testing patterns as post test yes, and keep the tests only that is on the TRPC level. Yeah, Gemini 2.5 Pro one shot at this because it read the existing thing and just went for that. Okay, let's see how that is set up. All right. Just doing the mocking correctly. I'm not gonna need that. I think I'm just gonna delete this. Alright. There's the create color, and then the color create. Yeah, I think you can do like something that sets up the color like as a helper function. It's gonna be easier. And also expires, it needs to be. I'm not sure if you're gonna have problems with the time. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna suggest changes. I'm gonna say maybe extract a helper function that creates the user and sets up the color so the tests are not that repeated. Also, please use I mean the whole expires thing I'm just gonna leave 2030 because otherwise you're gonna like, oh, I need some way to add things. We're gonna need like date FNS or whatever. I mean, this is what I would do because date in JavaScript just sucks. But yeah, let's see if we can refactor that. Yeah, I'm honestly trying to test this, editor thing. I had some trouble with that in Gemini CLI. I couldn't use that. So yeah, let's just perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete this. Just add it again. Yeah, I'm not gonna need this, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna need this. All right. Create test user and caller. Yeah, this is good enough. All right. I did it. Yeah, it took my changes. Good. Yeah, I want to see. We're approaching 30 minutes, and I'm confused. I think this is just like hallucination. What are you even doing? And why do you know there's an issue with your test? Is there an issue with your test? So this is gonna be our organization.test. Is there an issue here? Like npm run test organization. Let me just check one thing. Okay. Yeah, let me just. Okay. Oh yeah, we don't want to do this. Honestly. Okay, that is the issue. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna. There doesn't seem to be much wrong with the test. Why do you think that? You can run the tests with the NPM run test organization to check the results. This one, just one thing failing. Yeah, that was something that was wrong, but that was the only thing. This extra thing was the only problem. Oh wait. Yeah, I mean the other like. Okay, so he knew it was wrong, but like, why this double thing? Okay, interesting. Like, it was smart enough to figure out, but then it just got crazy. No, we don't need to. Okay, wait a second. We don't need that set timeout. You can just. We don't need that. What the hell are you even doing? I mean, I could just edit, but I'm trying to understand what the model is thinking about. What? It's gonna skip it. Okay. Yeah. I know what I need to do to change. I'm just gonna change it for you. Whatever. You're just crazy. You knew like that something was off, but then you were just crazy enough to. Literally, this is all you needed to. Whatever. Yeah, some weird stuff. Like, what is even this, right? Like, I don't get it. Let's see what it's doing. Okay, it's just a show create form, create organization, just a toggle. Right. Yes, allowance. He's doing a better job already than Gemini CLI, like organizing the pages. I feel like it's a little bit better. Yeah. We've done that already. All right, let's just manually test stuff. It's not gonna work because you still have to remove the npm run. Actually, just do npm run dev. Localhost 2000. Sign in. Nado@example.com. Localhost 8025. Sign in. Okay, create organization. New org. Not gonna add in description. Okay, back to organizations, create organization. Another org. Hey there. Create organization. Yeah. Can I edit? Edit. Okay. Okay, simple CRUD of organizations. This is good enough. All right. Yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna do the removal of these myself. You know, it's such a simple thing. Yes, that's. So how many requests have we made? What? Okay, so this is really promising, right? Because they're free plan. I mean, they're likely training stuff with the data. There's not a lot of like, oh, this is the, but yeah, whatever. I digress. Like if you think about like in terms of free plan, like this is wild, right? Because I have 2,000 requests per day. I'm on like 30 minutes of coding, and I use like 89 requests. Like this is wild. Can I check like I might have to cut these settings. Interface. Models. The country coder. Yeah, it's 1 million. So yeah, so the Qwen Code. Yeah, this is really big. Like honestly, is this actually just 89 requests? Yeah, if that's the case, this daily limit is wild. Like it's crazy. I guess they are just, I mean, they are definitely subsidizing that to, you know, maybe data training or whatever. I'm not sure. I haven't even read. Again, I'm not using this for a professional, like with our own private stuff. But it is, yeah, this usage is wild. Yeah, I want to understand like what is this free tier? What are the usage? Yeah, I don't know like the, yeah, I would have to ask that, but I don't know. So point is, use this at your own risk if you're not comfortable. They don't explicitly. I mean, I haven't read, if they're gonna use the code to test, but this is a crazy, yeah, this is a crazy free tier. Like if that is real, like I coded for like 30 minutes. This could have been then, you know, I can do like, let's say it's 100 requests, right? I mean, if I was like in autopilot, everything like I was with Qwen Code, which I think I'm gonna switch to autopilot now. Yeah, let's say 100 requests in 30 minutes. That means 200 requests in an hour. It means like 10 hours of coding. I mean, maybe, you know, it can be half as that, you know, like 5 hours, or maybe it can be even, it can be the whole day. But this is a wild limit. Really impressed. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna have to pay anything. All right, let's do this, commit, fit, org management, and I'm gonna ask it to fix. I'm gonna do memory add before proceeding to from time to time make before marking a task in docs.tasks as completed, make sure that the npm check is passing. I think that's how you call, right? Package JSON check, yeah. And npm test as well. Let's make sure the npm check is passing. Yeah, it's gonna fix the, and I'm going to enable the always allow edit now, and I'm gonna go kind of like wild. Okay, this is, I'm not gonna allow that, like cd and pnpm, like this is why, right? I want to allow only like pnpm check. I don't know why he's always trying to. Okay, let's just do no need to cd. You are, I'm assuming you are already on the right directory. Just run the command. Yeah, but I'm not also not like can allow any pnpm thing. How do I enable just a few? Oh, I just realized there's still this post component here. This shouldn't be there. I hope that it just deletes the posting instead of wasting time with the fixing it. Just delete the post. component as we don't use it anymore. The post controller was removed. I removed it, so you can't keep calling it. Nice. No need to run that. And just do fix int and other mistakes, whatever. Alright, it's gonna do. Let's start with task 2 now. Yeah, let's just allow this. Sorry, I just need to send a message asking my cousin to subscribe to the channel. By the way, if you're watching, subscribe to the channel would be highly appreciated. How do I share my channel? Oh. All right. Good channel. Share. The issue is that invitation test mg. Is that one, you forgot to, that one, you shouldn't import anything from max out in test files. For some weird reason they seem to fail. Two, you need to properly set up the mocks. See organization test for reference. Yeah, honestly, I think I need to. What I need to do is I need to set up a like in vtest config. I need to do something here, right? I need to have setup files here and then do that. Maybe I should ask it to. It is taking a long time. It's still not gonna work because yeah, I don't know why. Is there a way to like stop the thing? You forgot to do the out mock. Again, see the org test file for reference. Okay, I'm gonna say hi to my cousin because I'm just texting him and he wants to get back to YouTube. So I'm gonna send him a photo and talk to him. Okay, well, it's vibe coding, right? Like we do this. So yes, you can run this. I'm gonna just take a photo here, send to him. Let's go. Diogo, love you. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Nice, it figured out the task reset. That's good. You know, like this It's been an interesting thing. I know this series. I don't think a lot of people are watching. It's starting to grow a little bit like the watch time. I think I got like 8 hours in the previous video, but I guess there's it's been an interesting experience. This video, it's like it's a report, like it just shows how much work it needs to go to build like a nice like summary video, right? Which is the video that I really want to do. Is this video where I say, hey, I tested all these vibe coding tools, and this is my opinion, like what are the things you should test for which type of audience, for which type of viewer, which I think is going to be a much more watched thoroughly video, because not a lot of people can sit down and watch like a 3 hour long video where honestly most of the time it's just silent. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I do, but nope, I don't think that this video that I'm doing right now is attractive. However, uh, it is kind of like a step. It's two things. First, a stepping stone for me to actually learn the stuff that I want to talk on that other video, and shows how much work needs to go on that. But also, I think YouTube is a lot about like consistency and volume, right? You need to just keep posting every time that you can. Just take a look at it every time that you can. So you build like a corpus. I don't know how to say that in English. Maybe it's corpus, like a amount, like a lot of videos that you can that people can watch, and then you can target different audiences. And I think, yeah, consistency and volume are, I guess, I'm a newbie YouTuber. I have what now, like 71 now, maybe 72 subscribers with my cousin. Uh, so I think the name of the game is consistency and volume. So that's why I keep posting this, even though I know not a lot of people will watch this. Uh, but I need to keep posting and keep doing and keep learning and keep iterating on that. I think the after I'm done with all this reviewing all these AI things, I'm gonna do more interesting stuff with more like self-contained videos, and I think gonna be more interesting. But it's part of the process. I don't know. Just think it's interesting. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Now I'm actually like peak vibe coding. I just turn on the accept edit. I'm just accepting the destiny, and then normally what I do, and then I do like a manual review. I guess this is kind of like where we're heading, where instead of just you know pair programming with the AI, we just delegate a task, let it go in the background. Which also I'm gonna do a video on background agents. Uh, and then we just review the result, like we do either like manual product testing, and then we review code like we would do for any like our friends or whatever. Okay, it says it's done with everything, so I'm just gonna reset this. I'm gonna see if I can test the invitation. All right, let's come here. Let's see how can I invite someone. All right, now show the members. I'm an admin. I'm gonna invite someone else at example.com. You can choose the role, send invitation. I don't think it's gonna be sending emails. Yeah. So now I'm just gonna open a new thing, localhost 3000, sign in. What was the email that I used? Someone else at example. I'm gonna do this, localhost 8025. Click here, open this. Yeah, so how do I accept an invitation? Maybe it's logged somewhere. Okay. Just gonna ask how I can test that. How can I manually test the invitation flow? I can't seem to. Let me just accept invitation. Is there a route for invitation? Okay. Oh, I guess I just go to invitations. Slash invitations. Okay. Yeah. Let's just test it before we ask for. It just worked. Nice. I'm just gonna give that review. We likely need a link to the slash invitations page in the org list component, so the other user can easily join the orgs they were invited to. Yeah, I guess we don't have. Let's see. Example.com. I don't think we do have. Yeah, I mean we do. Okay, we do have some what the task 8 was asking to do, but you know this should be hidden the UI for non-admins. But yeah, we're good. Back to organizations. Yeah, okay, we can come here. That's all we need. Perfect. I think we're good to go. Amazing. npm run check. Just okay. Checks are not passing. You just tested if you're gonna have to rerun the check or if it's gonna take the thing when I did the bang shell mode thing. Wait, I think email. Oh, email is also. Is an email required? Okay, whatever. Wait, how is the schema? Mutation test. LSP restart. $385. Yeah, I think this is kind of like hallucinating a little bit. Yeah, let it try to figure it out itself. But like invitation doesn't. It's never know. Like you don't need to do that. Like again, this organization also is not nullable. I think it's just getting like a little bit like crazy. It's just getting crazy, man. Like schema, it's just hallucinating, right? Like it is required. Like all of these things are required. Okay, wait a second. I think you are losing. You are confused. Let's focus on. Think you are confused. Run npm type check first and only fix the actual type errors. It's just getting like really confused. Like it's doing a bunch of like weird stuff. If you go hmm. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of like unnecessary LSP restart. Yeah, honestly the LSP just always get like crazy. Yeah, sometimes honestly it's just easy to just do this invitation page. Yeah, now it's good. Yeah, I mean this is good. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's a lot once. npm run build. It's gonna take forever, but yeah, whatever. I don't know what's going to get from that, but that's a good thing to catch. mean, really, like, is that complicated? Like, you just need to do promise. Here we go. Took a while. So yeah, I the model is alright, but it's not being as good as Qwen Code or Gemini CLI with the 2.5 Pro. Gemini CLI, as soon as I got over with the 2.5 Pro and had to change to the 2.5 Flash, was really bad, but the 2.5 Pro was really good. So maybe if you pay for the AI Ultra plan, that is viable. But I think this, if you are, at least right now, if you are okay, again, I'm not sure if they're using the data for training, because it's a free tier with a, it seems like really reasonable usage limits. I'm pretty sure they're using this for training. Like, there's no way they would be just giving free lunch like that. And yeah, and I don't know. It was not clear what they're gonna do with the data, right? You know, I'm fine because, you know, I don't know. You need to wait. Okay, wait. You need to use promise, and then I'll wait on the params. For example, I'm just gonna say, for example, this is an error I got on the dev server a while ago. Wait, what? You just got crazy? Okay, the pacing is just wild. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. I'm confused. I think you can do this, right? Package. What is the next view? npm exec next build help. Honestly, I'm not gonna fight too much with that. I'm gonna leave these improvements to another time. Let's just do the checks, run the tests, and call it a day. Okay, it's running the tests. Great. I guess it just scheduled that thing. Okay, I'm just going to npm run test, make sure everything's passing. npm run check, run check. All right, I'm gonna do AC feat invitations. All right, let's start with task 8 now. We have what? 30 more minutes to go? No, I have 45 more minutes to go. Don't use middlewares. Don't use middlewares. Don't use gRPC middlewares. They add unnecessary complexity. I mean, I honestly think like this whole gRPC thing is unnecessary. Like, the typing is complicated. Is any yeah, it's just, there's not even a thing, right? Yeah, it's just hallucinating code right now. Yeah, perfect. This is good. This is what I was expecting. I mean, I guess you could return. Guess you could return the role org from these cards, so you don't need to fetch twice. Yeah, so the API seems to be a little bit slow, like much slower than Cloud Code. Yeah, but honestly, you know, it's free, and this is wild. Again, free as in $0, not in a, like, yeah, all the other meanings are free, but it's $0, and it's hard to beat that price. I don't know, maybe we're, yeah, like we a lot of times in Brazil it's just like $20 a month. When I was a university student in Brazil, I was earning. There was a time that I was making 400 or 100 reais a month. I mean, there was also time that I wasn't earning anything, and like 20 USD in BRL. So that is like 1/4 of my earnings, right? By the way, dollars already at 5. It was 6 a while ago. Yeah, wild. But yeah, so $20, while now it's cheap for me living in Europe and earning like a salary here. I can imagine that it would be really expensive for me at the time, and I guess there are places that are, you know even have like a harder like exchange rate kind of thing. Uh, you're absolutely right. No model is free from the "you're absolutely right" thing. I mean, I think this is a meme now, right? Like there's probably like a T-shirt, like T-shirt. You are absolutely right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. By the way, this is this is fire. But I mean, I also guess that this is like AI generated like thing. I don't know, or whatever. Yeah, it's an AI generated hoodie for AI generated memes. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Anytime someone complains about like LLMs online, I just like on Twitter or whatever, I just answer, "You are absolutely right," because I love to do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the code now. So go to invitations. I guess I still haven't done that. Let's go here. By the way, the get, right? The list all. Yeah, get all this to this there, but the get by ID. I mean, this should return a membership, no? Okay, this is not fetching the org. I see. Yeah, I mean, this now is not even used, right? Yeah. Wait, what? She was missing things. Oh, okay. I think we already had that, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think this is a great experience, but still, it's free. Like, it can get better than that. Let me just back to organizations. I don't want to sign out. I just double clicked. Yeah, these tests are honestly a little bit like vomited. I honestly, yeah, what I see a lot, but I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm tired to correct. A lot of times AI tends to be like repetitive and sometimes they're the same test that exists elsewhere in the test tree. Uh, it doesn't try to abstract things into factories. So it doesn't do a lot of like great testing practices. But I mean, it's better to have this. I can read this, right? I can say, hey, like validating this is good. Like I can get members. It should return members of this organization. I say, okay, there's this user and caller, and then there's this. Okay, I create an organization. I add that user as an admin. I create another user. I create I mean, you know, like it doesn't need to do this. Like all we need to check is that this returns, right? Yeah. So this test is a little bit like why you're adding this other thing. Like why are you doing that? Like, there's no reason to do that. Yeah, it dropped the. You see, like it dropped the alt thing. Uh, you dropped the alt mock. I really think we should move that to the setup because AI just gets lost with that. You know, yeah, like why? So this is a little bit annoying. Like a lot of times it does this like unnecessary changes where is that how you do that? There seems to be an issue with the test environment. Let's try running the tests using it with a different approach. Yeah, but I don't know why these things like fail to import. Yeah, honestly, at this point I'm just gonna do these npm run tests. I likely would need to put this into the memory, like oh, never import things from there. There's no need to type these things. Yeah. Four 7 1. Okay. Oh, now is the issue, right? Oh, the invitation test has weird. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Is this real life? Is this just fantasy? No escape from reality. Cause easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anywhere the wind blows. close, nothing really matters to me. Ta-na-na. Okay, let's see it now. View details. It's not working, right? I am an admin. And there's an issue here. Okay, let me just try to restart it. Well, let me. When trying to open the all details page, I'm getting this error on the terminal, on that server. I'm having some issues now with the invitation page. See issue.md. It doesn't. I don't even understand what's going on here. Yeah, we just got crazy. What is even going on? It's just like on a loop. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stop this. Accelerate summary and quit. I want to test that. It is frustrating. Okay. Dot Qwen / project summary. You're not on test 3 though. Okay, let's just do Qwen. Start new chat conversation. I thought we had properly done task 8, but it actually seems that we have some issues. Check issue.md. I think our okay. Can the issue be because because of the admin is not working during server-side rendering? Exactly. The error seems to be because during SSR we are calling the API instead of. So here's the thing, right? There is a common issue with trying to use this state in server-side rendering because the if admin should just use suspense query instead, and we can drop the hook. That is, update the hook to use suspense query. Honestly, I'm just gonna do. Okay, honestly, I give up. You don't have no idea what the hell you're doing. Just going to do this. Yeah, you don't need to even. I mean, what is even that, right? Yeah, now it's probably working. I hate to. Yeah, we still have an issue. Query. Okay, invitations page. Yeah, honestly, I don't understand React that much, which might be the problem. But also, I think this is a good thing, like about like it just shows that it's hard to just. Okay, let me just do one thing here. Okay, there's no issue here. If I do this, there is an issue here. Hmm. But here, there is an issue. Okay, if I do this. You know what? What is the issue? gRPC, Next.js, side rendering. Do Expensify. I just want to see one thing though. So if we go to app page, right? So it does call the thing directly here. Then the hydrate. Yeah, because latest post. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so latest post. Hmm. Yes, this is the stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's just do a really stupid thing. Just gonna delete this. I think this is here, right? Let's see if I have issues. Let's just do one thing. Return. Hey. Yeah, is that a weird thing, right? Like. Okay. This query. Get organization. Console.log. Hey. Okay, let's do. What happens if I just inline this with the EZMin? And next, component render only. Use client Next.js. Give it a second. Maybe I need to. Yeah, this is weird. Okay, I think. Alright, let me do this other thing here then. I have this thing here. Maybe I need to come here and do void API dot organization get membership dot prefetch, and then I need to organization ID. Okay. I mean, honestly, this doesn't help too much. I mean, do we really need to do that? API dot organization. What are the other one? Invitation. I mean, this shouldn't result in an error. I don't know. Okay, what are the get invitations? Get invitations dot use organization page. Prefetch. Again, all right. Choose roles. Yeah, I'm gonna do some refactors for ship equal require membership user ID organization ID. Alright. Okay, it's not used. Not used. It's not used. And honestly, alright. npm run check. Let's see how easy it is to fix this. Patient, yes. Yeah, I mean, invitation is for the user invitation, I guess. Roles. Alright. npm run test. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna stop the session now. Alright. Sheet refactor. Role-based access control with UI helpers. Yeah, honestly, include project summary. I'm just gonna do this, gonna push, and gonna discard this. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it for now. Okay, closing thoughts on Qwen Code. The Qwen coder model was all right. It was not like perfect. I think it did some silly mistakes. It was sometimes lazy. Generate the task and then it would just do uh, like one task with the whole thing instead of like breaking down into smaller tasks. It Yeah, it was a little bit lazy, especially in the planning part. It was not properly, the way they were processing the context, it was not great either. Like when doing the task, was not as accurate as the other models. So yeah, the model was not as good as Sonnet 4, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Codex and GPT-5 Codex. But again, take this with a grain of salt because model are a little bit random. So maybe it can be the prompt can be like, the actual Qwen Code system prompt. It can be just unlucky, but yeah, from this experience, it was not as great as these other tools. However, I think an important thing is that it costed me $0, and the free usage seems to be really reasonable. I think I didn't even use like 10%. Maybe I used about 10% of the daily limit. So I could have gone 4 hours, especially because another downside is that it's not as fast as the other models. There are, people will have some concerns. This is I don't know, it's China. I don't, I think I'm not gonna go into that debate. Uh, However, it's weird. Like there is a free plan, and they haven't explicitly told me what they were going to use the data for. Honestly, I would assume that they will train the model on this data. Which for this case, where I'm just testing this, everything is open in GitHub, right? Yeah, I'm not worried about that. So maybe in a professional environment you are, but I still think this can be an interesting tool to have. So what I'm thinking right now is like, if I was a broke college student again and I wanted to vibe code and I couldn't spend $20 on Cloud Code, which seemed cheap now for me that I earn a salary in euros and a good salary. It would definitely would be a lot for my old self earning way less. And there's an interesting thing. Like it was all right coding. Did some mistakes, but you could get around with it. It was all right. It was a little bit slow, but it was all right. And there's a big daily usage. And then Gemini, the usage of the 2.5 Pro was not great, but I think you can use a little bit. So yeah, so I wouldn't recommend paying like the AI Ultra just to get 500 requests there. But maybe you can use even the free plan on Gemini for planning and breaking down the tasks, which I think Gemini did that quite well. Then maybe use Qwen Code or the Qwen model to implement the task. Maybe even inside of Gemini CLI, right? You can just change the thing, or maybe you want to change the agents and have different like your Gemini.md file is like, oh, you are a an architect and you describe the task or whatever, and then the other one is like a coder, and then you focus on that. So I think it can be a useful tool, especially with this current free plan for someone that doesn't have a lot of money to spend. I wouldn't use that on my day-to-day job. I'm worried about, I couldn't, it was hard to find information about the data, like how they're going to use my data. So I wouldn't use that. I don't recommend for that. But it was an alright thing for being free. I don't know how it is to use Claude Code or GPT on the free plan. But I guess like if those have some free usage, I think Qwen 3 can be, you know, an extra thing that you use and then you navigate. Sorry, it's weird because I see myself there, but the camera is here. But yeah, I think it can be another useful thing to have on your tool belt, and then, you know, have some free plans and free usage. And I think it is alright. But yeah, it was not a great experience. It was alright for being free and reasonable usage limits. So I think that's it for now, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.